your life back. What you gonna do now you got your life back. What you gonna do now you got your life back. What you gonna do when you get to live your life much louder, louder? I wanna hear you in the back screaming louder, louder, louder. We're gonna take your life back even louder, louder, louder. I wanna hear you in the back living louder, louder, louder. We're gonna take your life back even louder.
Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Sessions, our weekly touchpoint of connection, community, and conversation. Wherever you're joining us from, whether you're here live, catching the replay, tuning in through our global campus, or gathering at a local watch party, we are genuinely glad to have you here. Our mission is simple. We're here to help you connect better, build better, and live better. Our values are clear. We are forward-thinking, people-centric, and life-affirming. And our why is the heartbeat of it all. People matter. That's what brings us here. That's what holds this together. This is not a space for performative certainty or inherited fear. This is a space for honest thinking, shared responsibility, and intentional connection. So whether this is your first time or your 100th time, welcome. You do not have to have everything figured out to belong in a place that takes people seriously. Is this your first time with us? We're especially glad you're here, and we hope this experience gives you something real to carry with you. Not just inspiration for a moment, but connection that makes a difference. To all of our guests, we've got a free gift for you. It's a small expression of our hospitality and a helpful tool for navigating connection in real time. Just follow the link on screen and claim it whenever you're ready. And those of you who call Bridge City home, thank you for continuing to build this big old community with us. Community like this does not happen by accident. It happens because people like you keep choosing association over isolation, contribution over passivity, and relationship over bare performance. This month carries a little extra weight for us. It's Earth Month. It's also Rising Season, and it's Bridge City's 2nd anniversary. So this is a season for reflection, renewal, and responsibility. A season to celebrate not only this community, but the beauty of spring, the resilience of humanity, and the possibility of becoming more alive to the world around us. This month's series is also called Louder. Louder is about making a shift from obsession with what we hate to deeper investment in what we are here to nurture. From reaction to intention. From contempt to cultivation. From merely rejecting harmful systems to actively building better ways of being together. Just like we're trying to do over at the New Bull News. So, as we move through this season, maybe the invitation is not just to admire spring, but to learn it, to notice it, to actively participate in it, to let it remind us that growth is not magic. It's a process, and so are we. Before we get into today's conversation, let's check in with Bridge City News.
What up, you beautiful Bridge City people? It's awesome to have you on the journey with us for another thought-provoking Sunday session. I'm Dane Darklight. I am the brightest night. I am the darkest light, and I am ascending. As are we all. The dark light is upon you. I'm here to keep you caught up on the down low on the exciting new developments of the Bridge City global community. If you haven't yet, download the app, get involved in the Bridge City Circle, and start engaging with a diverse and dynamic group of brave people who have defied the broken theology of Abraham by thinking for yourself and have outgrown those closed-minded communities based on religious exclusivity and dogmatic limitations. There's a whole lot of growing, a whole lot of rising, and a whole lot of unique ideas coming together right now at Bridge City Global. So deep dive, hop in it. Our global campus is still under construction, but it's growing fast. The lobby is live, and it's becoming your central hub for exploring the Bridge City experience as it expands. Your voice and ideas is an integral aspect to the social evolution and advancement of human potential and expression. Use it or lose it, your voice is your power. Inside, you can already begin navigating spaces like the Welcome Center, Event Center, Business Center, clubs, and more. So stop by, look around, and see how this humanity-driven campus is being built to support real connection, shared growth, and community beyond ideological isolation. If you've ever watched Sunday sessions and thought, we need something like this in my city, this is your sign. Get involved and become the launching pad of Bridge City in your area. The beacon that provides space for this growing secular community which transcends the limitations of religious community. Become the substrate which helps cultivate an atmosphere of secular acceptance for those who are ready to build a new and better world. A watch party is one of the easiest ways to start creating local connection around the Bridge City experience. It can be small, simple, and meaningful. Just a few people gathering in person to watch, reflect, and build together. If you're interested in becoming that spark in your area, visit the link on the screen and check out everything you need to start, host, and lead a watch party. This week's Club Spotlight is the Music Club. If music moves you, helps you think, helps you feel, or helps you process life a little more honestly, the Music Club might be your lane. It's a space for people who love sound, story, rhythm, creativity, and the ways music helps shape human experience. We just recently had an awesome vocal workshop led by one of Bridge City's global leaders, Jude. I had the honor of attending this workshop where we learned the basics, how to breathe properly, and vocal warm-ups. Most importantly, I learned that I can improve my voice with intentional practice and perseverance. So if you've been looking for another way to connect around shared interests, make sure you check out the Bridge City Music Club. To all of our new members, welcome home. We know joining a new community can feel like a lot, especially online. That's why we've been intentionally building Bridge City to be easier to navigate, easier to engage, and easier to grow within. Dive deep or swim in the shallows, it's up to you. This is an open invitation to all who are curious, atheists, theists, spiritual, or none of the above. This is a call to all who wish to live and love. And the growth has been real since January. Almost 70 people have joined the community, and we're excited about every single one of them. Share your life, share your voice. We accept and appreciate you all for making Bridge City your community of choice. If you're new, make sure you visit the link on the screen, complete the new member journey, explore the campus, and introduce yourself. Because at Bridge City, intentional membership matters. There's a lot happening this month, so here's your reminder to stay connected. We're celebrating Bridge City's 2nd anniversary, which is a huge milestone for this growing community. We're also in Rising Season, our shared season of reflection, growth, renewal, and recommitment to what it means to rise together. Our monthly new member house party happens on the last Wednesday of the month. So if you're new, make plans to pull up and connect. And yes, movie night is happening too, along with even more opportunities to gather throughout the month. So make sure you check the calendar and stay in the know. If you're ready to do more than watch, if you're ready to help build, we'd love to have you on the team. We are moving from conceptual to operational, and that means we need people willing to step in, collaborate, serve, create, organize, support, and help make this community stronger. If you are ready, you already belong here. Volunteering is not just about fulfilling an inert role. It's about expanding our capacity and ability to more effectively care for real people in real time. It's about building relationships that matter. It's about helping more people see the vision by choosing to be the bridge. This city is global. Check out the team's page and explore where you might be able to fit in, build up, and show out. And don't forget, every second Tuesday of the month is Giving Tuesday at Bridge City. We don't do guilt, we don't do pressure, and we definitely don't do manipulative giving language. We believe in shared responsibility. Help in whatever manner you are willing and able to contribute. If you can donate monetarily to help the cause of expanding Bridge City, that is absolutely much appreciated. We are well aware that many people are in hard times, so only donate monetarily if it will not hinder your life. Giving Tuesday is about funding and finding the freedom we're building together. It's about choosing association over isolation and investing in a future where people actually have places to belong, grow, and contribute. Your generosity helps us keep showing up. Your generosity helps us keep building the global campus for everyone. Your generosity helps us create experiences, spaces, and opportunities that make this community more real, more accessible, and more impactful to succeeding in the goal of providing a humanity-driven community not bound by the limitations of religious ideology. So if you believe in what we're building, mark your calendar and help us keep moving forward in whatever way you are able to contribute. Thank you for your participation in building a better humanity. Now, it's time to do them things. Share the stream, hit the like button, and subscribe if you have not already. Thanks for watching. I'm Dane Darklight. You can find me at Darklight Delirium. I'm a non-Abrahamic, true monotheist. I believe in imaginary friends, and you can't stop me. Be the bridge. The dark light is upon you. Stay beautiful, people.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Sunday. It's so great to see so many of you already in the chat and active. And of course, as I always say, as you're coming in, please let us know where you're watching from. I see we have South Africa in the chat. We have Phoenix in the chat. We have Malaysia in the chat. Come on, we're truly a global community. And listen, if this is your first time here, we have something that we like to give to you just as a special gift, as our way of saying thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with our community. To me, and I may be a little biased, but I think we have one of the most amazing communities on the planet. Our community is incredibly diverse, incredibly eclectic. You're going to get all of that stuff. Again, let us know where you're watching from. Just a few quick announcements, and then we're going to jump in this. Orlando, Florida. We got so many people in Florida. Come on, Bridge City, Florida. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. West Coast, Canada. Come on, that sounds like a new hip hop thing that I'd like to see happen. West Coast, Canada. Speaking of music, man, Bridge City has officially hit 5,000 streams. We're closer to 6,000 streams right now. Streaming everywhere music can be found. So if you're looking for some of the music, like I know y'all heard Louder when it came on. Yeah, come on now. And of course, we're also still holding the #1 spot in the Entrepreneurship of Impact competition. And again, thank you all so much for your support, for your encouragement, and for your donations. Tupelo, Mississippi in the building. Come on, that's just up the road from me, player. Come on now, look at here. We are literally everywhere. Bridge City everywhere kind of has a ring to it, doesn't it? For those of you who are supporting in the competition, thank you so much for your votes. As of right now, they're doing the double voting thing again. So go ahead and throw your little vote in there. So listen, let's kind of jump into this. I've said every week that we've been in this series that as we build into year 3, Bridge City isn't just a stream, like it's a community now. When we first started, it was just, hey, I'm showing up on Sundays and we're going to see if this is something that people are vibing with. We're going to see if this is something that people have a need for or even have a desire for. And so far, man, I've just been overwhelmed at the way that our community has grown and expanded. And don't get it twisted. This is just the doorway. This is the doorway to get in, man. Once you cross that threshold, there is an entire community of life, activity, events that are happening and taking place. Yesterday, we had our trigger warning roundtable led by our head of community, Ashley Wilmore. And I have to tell you, it was an amazing conversation. We had the sex talk, man. And oh my goodness, it was so enlightening. And that's the beauty of community when you can get so many various perspectives in the room at the same time. So for those of you who are on the global campus, make sure you check out that recording. It is available. It is available. So this series that we're in now, we're in this series called Louder, and this is a call for people-centered people to stop shrinking what gives life and start occupying space with love, integrity, encouragement, and leadership. Why? So that those who need us can find us. That's why this series is louder. It's not just getting louder for no reason. It's getting louder so that the people who need to find you can hear you. No, get louder because they can't hear you. The people who need love, the people who need hope, the people who need encouragement, they can't hear you because most of the conversations are around what we hate. Most of the conversations are around what we're disgusted by. Most of the conversations are around what we are distracted by. But somebody needs to hear your love. Somebody needs to hear your passion. Somebody needs to see your talent. Somebody needs to see your gift. So I am encouraging you. I'm pushing you. Damn it. I'm challenging you to get louder because they can't hear you. The goal is to become visible with what heals, with what helps, with what humanizes, and ultimately with what builds. Because of what we carry matters, it cannot remain silent or small or hidden. It has to get louder. Will somebody just put louder in the chat? No. What are we doing at Bridge City? We're getting louder. I opened up this series with a story or with a little anecdote that I got from a former contemporary when I was a pastor, when my church was struggling at its first real growth pocket. And I was like, man, what do we have to do? We don't have the resources that other people have. We don't have the attention that other people have. What do we have to do? And one of my homies told me, he said, you got to learn how to be the midget on the mountain. Yes, you may be smaller than everybody, but if you get up higher and get a little louder, you can make something happen. And so that's what this series is about, man. It's about getting louder. Okay. So this weekend, I want to talk to people who are tired. Not just, come on, louder from the Philippines. Look here, we have the Philippines, we got Malaysia, we got Florida, we got Mississippi, we got South Africa. We're all over. This weekend, I want to talk to people who are tired. And not just physically tired, because trust me, your boy is physically tired. I think I drank a little bit too much last night, and now I'm definitely feeling every bit of it. Not just physically tired, not just mentally tired. I'm talking about that deeper kind of tired that comes from carrying too much for too long. Am I talking to anybody already? Like, hey, it's Sunday, so we might as well have conversations, right? Some people are carrying grief. Some people are carrying financial pressure. Just holler when you hit, okay? Some people are carrying grief. Some people are carrying financial pressure. Some people are carrying burnout. Some are carrying loneliness. Some are carrying the weight of trying to rebuild their lives after religion without the false comfort of pretending that somebody from the sky is about to step in and fix it. And one of the hardest truths about life beyond superstition is this. This is nobody, come on, thank you, production team. Nobody is coming to save us. That's one of the hardest truths about living life beyond superstition, is that you have to sit in the reality that if there's going to be a hero, you're going to have to be it, because nobody is coming to save us. Now, for some people, that sounds cold, right? That sounds cold. For some people, that sounds terrifying. But for me and for us, that truth can be one of the most empowering realizations that we ever have. That because if nobody is coming to save us, then we can stop wasting time staring at the ceiling. We can stop lifting our hands hoping for intervention, and we can start putting our hands to the plow of the work. We start looking at each other differently. We start recognizing that the power we were taught to outsource has been here the whole time, in human beings, in community, in solidarity, in coordinated effort. And it's something that I introduced in week 1 of this series, in radical reliability. Okay, that's what today's session is about. Because yes, the world is heavy. It really is, man. Life is heavy. People are heavy with stories, with burdens, with systems, and with survival. But many hands makes heavy lighter. Can I say that one more time? Are y'all feeling that already? Many hands makes heavy things lighter. So this weekend, I want to ask a very simple question. Are y'all ready for this? What you lifting? That's today's conversation. What you lifting? Go ahead and tag somebody in the chat and ask them, no, what you lifting? Not what you sipping. We'll get to that conversation later, but what are you lifting? Because at Bridge City, we're not trying to become a community of spectators. That's not what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to become a community of lifters, not people who just talk about pain, not people who just raise awareness, not people who just post opinions, but people who know how to get underneath real weight and move it. Am I talking to anybody yet? And the truth is, are you ready? You are what you lift. That's the human honest truth. You are what you lift. In the gym, your body adapts to the load you place on it. If you train for endurance, you become better at enduring. If you train for explosive strength, you become better at moving serious weight. If you train sloppily, I feel like I'm talking to myself now. If you train sloppily, inconsistently, or against your actual goal, that's so good. Your development reflects that too. The point is simple. Adaptation is not random. Your body becomes shaped by the demands you repeatedly place on it. Your body becomes shaped by the demands you repeatedly place on it. Your heart becomes shaped by the demands you repeatedly place on it. Your love life becomes shaped by the demands you repeatedly place on it. And I think that same thing is true of community. If all we ever lift, habanero, is our own image, we become performative. If all we ever lift is our own opinion, we become loud but not useful. If all we ever lift is gossip, outrage, and online commentary, we may become emotionally reactive, but we do not become strong. But if we keep lifting responsibility, if we keep lifting each other, if we keep lifting real burdens, real people, real problems, then over time we become the kind of community that can actually carry real weight. And that's who I want to talk to this weekend. I want to talk to some people who are committed to not just looking at the weight, not just talking about the weight, not just being distracted by the weight, but I want to talk to some people who are some weight carriers, some people who can get under the weight and lift a little bit. I hope y'all are ready for me this weekend because I'm feeling good already. That's the issue, because whatever a community trains on, that community adapts to. Y'all got to give Zernial, y'all got to get his brother a love offering or something, because he is on fire today. Whatever a community trains on, that community adapts to. If you ever find yourself stuck in a place of outrage and reactionary responses, maybe that's what you've been trained on. If you switch what you are trained on, you can switch what you adapt to. If we train on vibes, we become fragile. If we train on applause, we become shallow. If we train on passive inspiration, we become spectators with good language. But if we train on solidarity, service, courage, reliability, and coordinated effort, then we become sturdy. Then we become strong. Then we become useful. Then we become the kind of people who don't panic every time life gets heavy, because heavy is what we've been practicing for. Heavy. You're getting heavy on me. I hope y'all are ready today. I feel good. That's why this matters. You do not accidentally become strong. You become strong by repeatedly getting under the tension. You don't accidentally get stronger. And I really feel like that's somebody's message right there. You're asking, why am I not getting stronger? Because you're not practicing strength. Whew, this is good. This is good already. You do not accidentally become strong. What you're mad at doesn't make you stronger. What you're sad about doesn't make you stronger. What you're upset with, disgusted with, distracted by, none of that makes you stronger. None of us get stronger on accident. Somebody caught the Dreamgirls reference. Come on now. I know I'm in the right building now. You do not accidentally become strong. You become strong by repeatedly getting under tension. If we're doing anything at Bridge City, we're purposefully getting under tension by repeatedly meeting resistance, by repeatedly learning how to hold, how to push, how to pull, and how to move what lesser versions of you would have dropped. And in the same way, Bridge City cannot become a lifting community just by talking about lifting. We only become lifters by actually lifting. You can look at that weight bench all day long, but at some point you're going to have to get on it, put your hands on the bar, and struggle with what you've been avoiding. By carrying grief with people, by interrupting financial strain where we can, by speaking when silence would be easier, by building systems instead of just sentiments, by becoming the kind of network that knows how to absorb pressure without collapsing. Because this weekend, I do not want us to merely admire the idea of solidarity. I want us to understand that solidarity is a form of training, habanero, okay? And whatever we keep training, we keep becoming. Can I run that back? Whatever we keep training, we keep becoming. If you keep training on outrage, you're going to keep behaving outrageous. If you keep training on slander, you're going to keep becoming slanderous. Okay, let's go there. Whatever we keep training, we keep becoming. And so this is a great place to go ahead and move into the first part of today's message. And I'm going to be moving fast today, but I need everybody to realize that everybody is carrying something. Can you sit in that for a moment? Can you allow yourself to breathe that in, that listen, you're not the only one carrying something. Everybody is carrying something. Everybody. I'm carrying something. My wife is carrying something. My children are carrying things. Zernial is carrying things. Ashley is carrying. Everybody is carrying something. This is one of the reasons why I go out of my way to do my best to treat people with as much grace as possible, because everybody may not have my pain, but everybody's dealing with some pain. Can I say that again? Everybody may not have my pain, but everybody is dealing with some pain, and I don't get to dictate what hurts you and what doesn't hurt you. The reality is everybody's carrying something. Even the people you don't like, even the people you disagree with, even the people you can't stand, everybody is carrying something. And that matters, because one of the easiest mistakes people make is assuming that what they can't see must not be there. If a person is still smiling, still posting, still joking, still showing up, still producing, we assume that they must be all right. Okay, but a lot of people are not all right. They're just functional. They're just disciplined. They're just used to carrying weight without expecting anybody to help. Am I talking to anybody this weekend? They're used to carrying the weight without expecting anybody to help. That's what I want Bridge City as a community to challenge. That's what I want Bridge City as a community to change. That's what I want Bridge City as a community to lift. I want people who, because I know, again, everybody's carrying something, but the problem is we're all carrying it, but we've gotten so used to carrying it, and we've gotten so used to people ignoring what we're carrying, that we've gotten to the place where we're just walking around almost like Eeyore, never expecting it to actually get better, never expecting anybody to actually help, because we are living in a world of bystanders. But Bridge City is shifting from bystanding to lifting. Okay, now everybody ain't light. Every strong person isn't unburdened. Every productive person isn't okay. Every independent person isn't free. Some people learn how to survive by making heaviness look normal. Who am I talking to? Who am I coming for? Is this you? Is this for you? Some people have gotten so used to carrying heaviness that they've learned how to survive by making it look normal. They got so used to carrying pressure that they stopped expecting relief. This is just life. This is just how it is. They got so used to being dependable that nobody even thinks to check on them. They got so used to being the strong one that people admire their endurance while completely missing their exhaustion. Yes, I'm enduring this, but I'm exhausted. Yes, I'm making it through, but I'm tired. Yes, I'm still finding a way to smile, but sometimes I don't want to. And that's a major part of the problem. Some people are carrying private grief in public silence. They're smiling in rooms where their heart is breaking. Some are carrying bills that don't match their paycheck, trying to act normal while doing math in their head every single day. Some people are carrying the emotional cost of family rejection, religious trauma, depression, parenting stress, or just the pressure of trying to survive in a world that keeps asking more from them than they can actually give it back. This is so good. And what makes that heavier is that many communities don't really know how to deal with weight. See, weight is something I've learned how to deal with. I used to be 580 pounds. Now I'm 180 pounds. I've had to learn how to deal with weight. Some people know how to celebrate your strength. They know how to praise your resilience. They know how to admire people who keep going, but they do not know how to step in and help carry what is crushing them. I remember in my final years of pastoring a Christian church, I started thinking about it really heavy. Like I reached out to one of my best friends, and this is just a real transparent moment right here. But I reached out to one of my best friends and I said, man, I'm tired of wearing the uniform. I felt like Peter Parker and Spider-Man, where it's like, I just want to take the uniform off and throw it in the trash because I'm tired of looking good without being good. I'm tired of looking like I'm better without actually being better. I don't want to be the hero anymore. I just want to take this thing off because so many people don't realize that I'm actually dying under the pressure. Man, is this good, y'all? Are y'all ready for this? No. I don't want to just look good. I want to be good. I don't want to wear the uniform. Come on now. I don't want to wear the uniform anymore because what we need, what I need more than your praise is your partnership. Yeesh, this is so good. When my family finally started breaking out of poverty, we moved into a nice upscale neighborhood, and that don't mean nothing except for the bills are bigger than they've ever been before. But we moved in a nice upscale neighborhood, and some family members came over and they said, "Oh, I am so proud of you." Y'all ever had that before? People showing this, "I am so proud of you." And I wrote a song after that moment. I wrote a song called "I Can Do Proud All on My Own." No. I don't really need congratulations. I don't really need "so proud you made it." I think I'd rather have compensation. I think I'd rather have participation. I think I'd rather have some collaboration because proud is something I can do on my own. I've bodied these burdens on my own. I've handled these demons on my own. Proud I can do by myself. Participation is what I need. Partnership is what I need. Sometimes life can feel like pushing a car uphill and you have people watching you. You know, have you ever been in that place where your car ran out of gas, or maybe something happened? Maybe the transmission stopped working, alternator stopped working, I don't know, and you actually have to get behind the car and push it. The worst thing in the world is having people watch you push. No, don't watch, help. Don't just watch, help. This is the reality. We live in a place where we know how to admire people who keep going, but we don't know how to step in and help carry what is crushing them. This is one of the failures of so many communities, religious and secular, is that they teach people, come on now, they teach people how to perform strength without ever helping them carry weight. I don't want you. I don't want you to have to perform strength. We have too many people. There's 8 billion people, some odd people on this planet. Why are we carrying stuff by ourselves? Why are we having to perform strength? Why are we not finding the help that we need? Don't watch, help. Don't just watch, help. Come on now. Help us carry this weight. We live in a world where they teach you how to look okay, how to sound okay, how to stay useful, how to remain presentable, how to keep serving, keep smiling, keep showing up. But they don't teach people how to build a culture where burdens are shared. No, we got to share this. We got to share this together. Some people end up in rooms full of worship, full of rooms full of ideology, rooms full of support, and still feel completely alone because being surrounded is not the same as being supported. Let me run that back. Being surrounded is not the same as being supported. Being seen is not the same as being helped. I see you, Darante. I see you. I just see you going through so much. I see you doing so much. Don't see. help. Being seen is not the same as being helped. Being in the room is not the same as being lifted. Presence is not the same thing as lifting. Just because I heard your story doesn't mean I helped move your burden. Just because I sat beside you doesn't mean I got underneath the weight that's on you. Just because I said I'm here for you doesn't mean I actually became a force in your life. And that's one of the biggest drawbacks of coming out of religious superstition is we get so used to help that isn't help. We get so used to help that isn't help. I've been tripping on this for like all week long because I realized that anytime somebody's going through something major, one of the first things they do is they ask for prayer. They say, hey, something's going on in my life. If y'all would, if you know the language of prayer, would you say a prayer? And what that kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because it also means that we've gotten so we've gotten so conditioned to superstition that we now ask for help that isn't help. No, y'all ain't with me today. Y'all are not with me. We now ask for help that isn't really help. You're going through something that's the hardest thing you've ever gone through in your life, and your default mode, well, I just need thoughts and prayers, y'all. Thoughts and prayers ain't gonna move a damn thing. No, I need some real help, and I'm a little concerned that we've gotten to the place that religion has robbed our language in such a way that we don't even know how to ask for help anymore. Many of us don't even know what help is. I don't even know how to ask you how to help me. I don't know how to ask you to sit with me in my discomfort. I don't know how to tell people, like, no, what I really need right now is encouragement. What I really need is support. So I'm just going to drop it down to thoughts and prayers. Damn, this is good. Just because I heard your story doesn't mean I help move your burden. If Bridge City is going to be the kind of people-centered community we claim to be, then we have to learn how to see weight differently. We have to become more observant. That means noticing what people are carrying beneath their personality. We have to become more compassionate. That means caring enough not to dismiss, minimize, or explain away what we see. And we have to become more responsive. Don't just look at it, do something about it. That means when we see weight, we don't just name it, we help move it. Okay? Because lifting louder begins with awareness, yes, but not awareness as branding, not awareness as performance, not awareness as looking compassionate online, but awareness as attention, awareness as sensitivity, awareness as the refusal to let people suffer invisibly while we keep strolling, scrolling, talking, posting, and spectating. In other words, lifting louder starts when we stop treating burden like background noise, when we stop treating burden like something to overlook, when we stop treating burden just like an unfortunate circumstance. Burden is not an unfortunate circumstance. It's a corporate responsibility. I'm going to run that back one more time, just in case you missed it. Burden is not just an unfortunate circumstance. It is an opportunity for corporate or collaborative responsibility. There are things. There are things that people are being crushed by because they're having to lift it by themselves. There are things that people are being trampled by because they're having to lift it by themselves. But collaborative responsibility. Many hands make heavy things lighter. Before you can move anything, you have to be honest that something is heavy, which also means we have to create space for people to say something is heavy without us judging them. Oh, were y'all ready for that? Because let's think about it. Let's check ourselves real quick. Maybe there's been somebody in your life who was trying to let you know that something was heavy, but you dismissed it. No, I've done it before. I'll talk about myself first. I'll get naked so you don't have to. I'll get naked because you don't have to. Because you get so used to being strong You get so used to being strong that you can't honor, respect, or value somebody else's vulnerability. No, I'm talking to me now. No, you don't have to feel bad. I'll feel bad for you. I'm talking to me. I've gotten so used to being strong that when I hear other people being vulnerable, sometimes it makes me uncomfortable because I'm like, man, you have no idea what I've had to survive to be here. You have no idea what I have to fight through just to keep showing up. But that is not a flex. It's not a flex that I had to do all of this by myself. It is not a flex that I have to pull all of this out of the mud because it changes you. It changes you. I hope this is helping somebody. Before you can help move anything, you have to be honest that something is heavy. I've gotten used to it, but it's still heavy. No. I've been doing this for so long, but it's still heavy. And because I've been doing it, sometimes it makes me a little callous. No, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna be absolutely real with you. It makes me a little callous because then I hear other people say, "Well, I'm carrying this." I'm like, "Shit, that ain't nothing. That's all you carrying." But I don't get to determine what's heavy for other people. Whoo, this is so good. We have to learn how to. Oh shoot, man. We have to learn how to stop romanticizing struggle. Yeah, go ahead and write that on your forehead. Yeah, just put it somewhere. So every time you look in the mirror, you remind yourself, stop romanticizing struggle. We have to stop normalizing exhaustion. And I'm saying that while being exhausted. You know, we have to stop assuming that because somebody is functioning that they may be fine. If you go back and watch the video I did where me and a few other ex-pastors were sitting down with a mental health expert, that's something that I was very honest about. Man, I may be functioning, but I'm not sure if I'm fine. Oh, no. Watch this. I am helping a lot of people, but I'm not sure if I'm healthy. Are y'all ready for this type of conversation today? Am I? Are we having a real conversation today? Oh, that's so good, Jude. Suffering isn't a competition. We have to stop assuming that because people are functioning that they're fine. We have to stop calling people strong when what they really are is overloaded. I shared this with y'all a few weeks ago. I'm a fiction writer, even though I haven't published anything else since Memphis: The Last Supper. But hey, go buy Memphis: The Last Supper. It's really dope. But I came up with this story idea last month called Pressure. And the story idea revolves around a hero. Yeah, like he's a hero. It's like a making of a hero story. But what it is he has high blood pressure, like critically high blood pressure. And like honestly, like I am the what's the archetype, the mode for the character. The character is modeled after my own struggles with high blood pressure. High blood pressure runs in my family. My blood pressure, my top numbers can be anywhere between 180 to 200 at any given time, like in over 200. So I have critically high blood pressure, but it also makes me like hyper aware and stuff like that. And so in the story, I took this to the long way, just like, okay, yeah, high blood pressure. We're going to make him hyper reactive. And that's where his superpowers are going to come from. His superpowers is going to come from his high blood pressure because he can respond faster to stuff and all this good stuff. And so he becomes a superhero and this other person sees him doing it and they're filming him while he's doing all this stuff. And by the time you get to the end of the movie where he's become super popular and everybody's watching him and he's fighting the bad guys with his high blood pressure, but then he starts losing. And then somebody says, "Hey, y'all, we got to do something. Somebody help him." And then so everybody starts sending thoughts and prayers through social media. "We got you, bruh. We got you. We're going to support you," and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, he ends up dying from the pressure because everybody sees him as strong. Everybody sees him as strong, but what he really is overloaded. Oh man. Everybody sees him as making it. Everybody sees him as determined, but what he really is overloaded. And it's kind of like a retelling of the John Henry story. I don't know if you remember the John Henry folklore, but John Henry, he had a hammer in his hand and he decided to go up against the train and everybody cheered him on because he beat the locomotive, but it cost him his life. And like right now, it's like I feel like we're in a place in society where we're cheering people on while they are dying in front of us. Man, this is much more heavy than I wanted it to be today, but this is just the reality of where we are in the world that we live in. We are cheering people on while they are dying in front of us, carrying a load by themselves. And so instead of us getting under them, I'm sorry, I had to close my eyes and black out for a moment because that's how real this is. You know, because if we never tell the truth about the weight, we'll never become the type of community that can help lift it. If we never tell the truth about what's heavy, if we never tell the truth about what's burdensome, if we never tell the truth about what's too much for one person to carry. No, I get that you've had to carry a lot, but if you know that it hurt you, why would you wish it on anybody else? And that sometimes becomes the thing. Well, I had to do it. Oh, y'all, my goodness. If we never tell the truth about the weight, we'll never become the kind of community that knows how to lift it, which leads me to point 2. And I'm moving fast this weekend. Yes, I am. Point 2 of today, strength has to be targeted. Yeah, strength, it has to be targeted. Once we recognize that people are carrying weight, the next question is not whether we care. That should be the easy one. The next question is not whether we care. The question is, what are we going to do with the strength that we have? What are you going to do with the strength that you have? And listen to this. Listen to this. You I get it. You've been carrying so much. You have. And it's hurt. It's been heavy. It's been burdensome. But the reality is, as much as it hurts, as much as it pains me, the fact that you've carried it this long, it means you've gotten some strength out of it. And so the question is, what are we going to do with the strength that we have? Because strength that is not targeted gets wasted. A lot of people have good intentions. A lot of people mean well. A lot of people feel bad when they see someone struggling. But vague concern rarely changes anything, okay? General compassion may make us feel humane, but strategic compassion is what actually moves the weight. That's why we're building Bridge City. Bridge City is me just sharing content on Monday through Fridays is general compassion. Me building community is strategic compassion because that's what actually moves the weight. In other words, it's not enough to be a caring person in theory. The real question is whether your care can locate a burden and reduce it. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Like you don't have to have a lot of resources. You don't have to have a lot of strength left. It's many hands make heavy things lighter. I'm not asking any one person to be the hero. I'm not asking any one person to be the savior. I'm reminding us that what we do together is stronger. I just had a flashback to soul food that, this one finger, there's two finger, there's three finger, there's four finger, there's five finger. They all weak and they individual. They not going to be able to lift much. But if I ball them bad boys up together, they can make a mighty blow. And that's what we have to remember about humanity, that yes, I'm just one little finger out here doing the best I can, but when we ball ourselves up together, that's when we can actually locate a burden and reduce it. And that's what lifting louder is about. It's about identifying somebody in the community who is carrying a heavy load and making a decision, a real decision, that for a set period of time, you're going to take part of that load off of them. That's how we get there. That is embodied altruism. Not to admire their strength, not to compliment their resistance, not send them thinking of you energy from a safe distance, not make yourself emotionally available in language, but practically unavailable in reality. We've gotten so used to living in the illusion that most of what we offer to people is illusionary support. We have to actually get in and lift jalapeno. Because one of the ways communities fail people is by confusing emotional expression, yes, sir, with meaningful intervention. One of the ways communities fail people is by confusing emotional expression with meaningful intervention. I'll cry with you. I'll be sad with you. I'll be mad with you. I'll be disgusted with you. But at the end of the day, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to move this weight? How are we going to lift this burden? One of the most phenomenal things that we've been able to do as a community. And again, it wasn't even my idea. And that's the beauty of community. We are not a place where everybody just shows up to fanboy over me. We are a place where we come together to get things done. One of the most phenomenal things that we've done as a community, it did not have a lot of spectacle around it. A lot of people didn't even know we were doing it, but we were doing it anyway. And that was our head of community came up with the idea last year in November. And they said, hey, let's do a food drive. And in my mind, I was like, what you mean? How are we going to do a food drive? We all in all different places. Everybody over here. Like, none of us really live together. And she was like, nah, we're going to do this. And I'm like, okay, how are we going to do it? She said, everybody that's in the community, just go donate food to somebody, somewhere, anywhere. Just go do it. And man, that was something small. Listen, y'all, it was something small, but so many people in our community, I think Zernial and Bob did it like 4 or 5 times, just going places. I went somewhere, I was looking for a place to give, and I was like, oh man, I know somebody who lives in a store because they don't have anything. And so I said, man, this is a great opportunity to make a difference. Because by doing that, it may not be fancy, it may not be popular, there may not be a lot of spectacle around it, but it made a difference in somebody's life. It made a difference in multiple somebody's lives. Ooh, we've mastered the art of sounding supportive while remaining structurally uninvolved. We know how to say, let me know if you need anything, which often sounds compassionate, but quietly places the burden back on the exhausted person to organize their own rescue. Oh, man, we in deep waters today. Y'all, we in deep waters. Like, no. We say it. Hey, let me know if you need anything. If you need anything, just let me know. But we don't realize that, like, as compassionate as that sounds, as considerate as that sounds, it quietly shifts the burden back on the exhausted person to organize their own rescue. Lifting louder flips that. It says, I see the weight, and instead of asking you to manage my willingness to help, I'm going to step in and reduce something concrete. Maybe that means helping cover groceries so a family can breathe for a week. Maybe that means childcare so a parent can rest, work, or think. Maybe that means connecting someone to a job lead because your network can open a door their talent alone has not been able to. Okay. Maybe that means driving them somewhere when transportation is the difference between stability and collapse. Maybe that means using your skills, your money, your time, your relationships, or your platform to interrupt the pressure that they're under. That's the key word, interrupt. Eesh, this is so good, y'all. I'm about to lose my mind because a lot of people are not crushed by one dramatic tragedy. This is the reality. A lot of people are not crushed by one dramatic tragedy. They are crushed by unbroken pressure. They are crushed by unbroken pressure. It's like being in a ocean and the waves keep hitting you and you know you're a good swimmer, but you're tired. I'm a good swimmer. Oh man, I love to swim. I was born in the month of May. I consider myself a water baby, but I'm tired. And if the waves keep hitting you while you're tired, see, that's what some people are dealing with right now. They're smiling, they still look good, but the waves are hitting them and they're tired. Every little inch they're trying to make, they're still tired because moving on, keep moving does a lot of things, but it does not reduce the burden. So they're still tired. The bills keep coming. The stress keeps building. The grief keeps sitting there. The schedule keeps grinding. The rejection keeps echoing. Lifting louder means creating interruption points in somebody's burden so that their struggle does not just continue untouched. This is one of the things that broke my heart last year. I did a lot of traveling, y'all. I did a lot of traveling last year. And at the end of that traveling, like I felt like I left with an assignment. Bridge City became more important to me than it even was before I first developed this vision, because I did a lot of traveling and I realized that a lot of people were under a lot of pressure. And instead of dealing with the pressure, we were dealing with performances. Instead of dealing with the pressure, we're talking about all the things that we don't like. Instead of dealing with the problems that we're facing. No, man, I went to a lot of secular events and looked around and was like, wait a minute now. Everybody here is either financially under pressure, emotionally under pressure, suffering with all different types of trauma. And I'm concerned that we're spending more time praising the trauma than solving the problem. Sometimes the burden is not only practical. Sometimes it's social. Sometimes it's political. Sometimes it is cultural. Sometimes what a person is carrying is not just exhaustion, it's erasure, where people show up in a room and feel like they have to hide their struggles. When people show up in a room and feel like they have to pretend that they're not drowning under the pressure so that other people will feel comfortable, because we don't want to be brought down by your sad story. Y'all don't want to talk to me today. Sometimes what a person is carrying is not just exhaustion, it's erasure. Some people aren't talking about what they're carrying because they don't believe anybody cares. And that's what we have to challenge, and that's what we have to change. That's what we have to change. That's where voice becomes a form of lifting. Sometimes lifting louder means using your voice when somebody else's humanity is being debated in a room where you have the privilege to speak. And when that moment comes, silence is not neutrality. Silence is surrender. Silence is comfort choosing itself over courage. Because there are moments when quiet is not wisdom, it's abandonment. Years ago, I told you I was a former Black nationalist. Years ago, when Black violence or violence against Black bodies was ramped up like more than we had seen in a while, I wrote a poem. And I wrote a poem in the spirit of Claude McKay. I don't know if you're familiar with Claude McKay's work, but if you're not, go check it out. It was in the spirit of the poem that Claude wrote entitled, "If We Must Die." You know, if we must die, let it not be like pigs in the street. If we must die. And so I wrote a poem in the spirit of that called "Please Don't Leave Me Hanging." Yeah. Please don't leave me hanging. You know, a lot of times we talk about the horrors of things that have happened in this country against African Americans. We've talked about the strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, but for me, since the moment I was a child to even where I am today, when I watch those things, I'm always horrified by the amount of people who just sat there and watched. And I think sometimes we've become so desensitized to struggle. We've become so desensitized to burden. We've become so desensitized to violence and tragedy that we've gotten into a place that we've all normalized being bystanders. But I want to stand firm and say, nah, if you see something happening to me, please don't leave me hanging. Okay? Silence, there are moments when quiet is not wisdom, it's abandonment. If someone is being diminished, erased, mocked, dehumanized, or buried under the opinions of louder people, and you have the ability to speak, then your volume becomes a part of the lift. And your courage becomes part of the lift. Your refusal to let dignity be trampled without resistance becomes part of the lift. I hope this is helping somebody this weekend. That means you do not stay quiet just to keep the peace, because too often what people call peace is really just the uninterrupted reign of whoever already has power. Too often, keeping the peace means letting the vulnerable absorb all the tension so the comfortable don't have to feel any. I'm going to say that one more time. Too often, keeping the peace means letting the vulnerable absorb all the tension so the comfortable don't have to feel it. But lifting louder says no. We are not here to protect the comfort of the room at the expense of the dignity of the person. We are here to protect dignity. We are here to apply strength where it is needed. Somebody say, apply that pressure. We are here to use what we have in ways that actually change the conditions that somebody is living under, because strength is not what you can carry. Strength is what you can target. Strength is what you can organize. Strength is what you are willing to aim at a real burden. And strength is what you are willing to confront when that burden is being created, protected, or ignored by people who benefit from your silence. That is what makes lifting louder different from vague goodness. It is disciplined. It is intentional. It is specific. It is disruptive. It does not feel compassion. It deploys compassion. And that is the challenge today. Do not just ask whether you are strong. Ask whether your strength is useful. Ask whether your compassion has direction. Ask whether your care has strategy. Ask whether anybody's life gets lighter because you're in it. And if the answer to those questions is no, don't feel bad, because the truth of the matter is most of us have not been trained to interrogate ourselves in this manner, nor have we been a part of communities that allow us to even exercise those muscles. But that's why Bridge City is here, because we're going to learn how to love, how to learn, how to lift, and how to lead louder. Because strength that never locates a burden is just unused potential. And at Bridge City, we're not trying to become people who merely possess strength. We're trying to become people who know where to put it, which leads me to my third point of today. I told y'all I'm moving fast. We don't need more awareness. We need an engine. I don't know how we got here, but we've gotten into a place where we think awareness is enough. We think just knowing about something is the same as doing something about it. No, we don't need more awareness. We need an engine. Because if all we do is talk about problems, then we're just another emotionally expressive community with no mechanical advantage. We become a people who know how to describe pain, analyze pain, post about pain, react to pain, and gather around pain, but still leave the weight sitting exactly where we found it. Because a lot of spaces know how to sound compassionate without becoming useful. A lot of spaces know how to sound compassionate without actually becoming useful. And that's not me just listen, I'm not just trying to trample on people because my heart goes out for this. Sometimes I know how to sound compassionate without actually knowing what to do to be useful. Let's sit in the discomfort of that a little bit. Like this morning, I was sharing with Zernial, because I'm a father, okay? I'm a father. My oldest son just had prom, and he went to the beach this weekend with his friends. And I woke up this morning and noticed that his phone was offline, and it scared the hell out of me. And so I'm texting, "Hey, you okay?" And I'm asking my younger son, "Hey, do you know his friends' numbers? Because I need to call somebody and check on my boy." And you know, if something would have happened, thankfully it didn't. He's safe. He's safe. He just slept late. But if something would have happened, I'm sure people would have surrounded me in compassion. But sometimes we don't know how to make our compassion useful. No, that's real. Let's sit in that discomfort. You ever had to sit with somebody who was going through something difficult, heartbreaking, life-shattering, and like you don't even have words to say? So I'm sorry this happened. I don't know what to do, because I don't think society has actually given us the tools to know how to be useful. I don't think society has given us the tools to know how to be honest when we're not useful. Mm-mm. No, I want to be honest. I want to be. That's one of the reasons why I'm no longer a believer, because I know that prayer wasn't going to do nothing. That lashanda handa heritable sataya reshikiri, that ain't doing nothing. That ain't doing nothing. We don't even know how to be useful. When gun violence breaks out in my city, the answer is always we need to pray. We don't know how to be useful. We know how to perform concern. We know how to be visibly bothered. We know how to raise awareness, signal alignment, and generate emotional energy. But emotional energy by itself does not move systems. Symbolic outrage does not automatically relieve suffering. Public language does not necessarily produce practical change. So, no, we don't need more performance. We don't need more symbolic outrage. We don't need more empty awareness campaigns that make people feel informed while leaving the burden exactly where it is. We need an engine. We need something that can take compassion and convert it into motion, something that can take concern and convert it into coordination, something that can take values and turn them into outcomes. Because the real question is not whether we can name the problem. The real question is whether we can build a mechanism that actually applies pressure in the right place. Whew. That's why, as Bridge City continues to grow, I want us to get to a place where every quarter we identify one systemic weight in a city where we're represented. It could be medical debt, it can be foster care gaps, it can be food deserts, it can be burnout, access problems, whatever it is. Listen, I get it. Like as many of us as former believers, we got a lot of opinions about the church. But I don't need us to just feel better than religion. I need us to do better than religion. Like a major void in my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, shit, I'm gonna be real honest. This is so serious for me that I have wrestled at times with just going back. No, I've wrestled with going back, because ever since I've come into this community, ever since I've switched to this side, I found more people who want to holler but don't want to help. You know what I'm saying? But the world I come from, we helped people. And I was hoping that on this side of critical thinking, I'd find more people who wanted to help people. So like my mentors, they were the type of people, like if there was a medical issue, no, we were gonna pay that bill. My former mentor up in Ohio, every year his church blesses a family in need with a house and a car every year. Typically, it's every quarter of the year. I want to be a part of people doing stuff like that. No, that's the type of community I want to be a part of. People who are actually applying pressure in the right places. Yeah. Yeah. I want us to be the type of place that people aren't dying under medical debt. Right now, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm dying under medical debt right now. I want us to be able to play. I want us to be able to be the gap. I want us to be able to fill the gap in foster care. I want us to be able to have a solution for food deserts. I know we can't do all of it, but we can do some of it. I want us to be able to be a refuge for people who are dealing with burnout. I want us to be able to have solutions for people who have access problems, whatever it is. And it shouldn't just be raising awareness. We ought to be organizing a team to solve a measurable piece of the problem. Which is why, as we started building Bridge City, I would tell my team, like, hey, because some people would join and say, we should be about this. We should be about this, or we should be about this. And I'm like, listen, We're not going to be able to do any of that if we don't get enough people in here. So instead of us just trying to be about one thing, how about we be about all things, people? See, this matters because it changes the whole nature of the community. Now, lifting isn't just emotional, it's operational. Now we're not just saying we care, we're saying here's the burden, here's the target, here's the team, here is the method, here is the measurable outcome. That's a very different kind of compassion. That's compassion with architecture. That's compassion with assignment. That's compassion with process. That's compassion that knows where it is going and how it intends to get there, because anything other than that is still superstition. And how dare we allow the religious people to be more effective in highlighting and helping than we are? How dare we sit on our high horses calling ourselves smart, intelligent, empathetic, or critical thinking, and we're not doing a damn thing about the problems that exist in this society? How dare we? If the only thing we can do is talk about it, what good are we? What good are we? This is how secular solidarity becomes credible. Because if we say we believe in human responsibility, if we say we believe in human possibility, if we say we believe in human flourishing, then those beliefs have to become visible in organized form. They have to become systems. They have to become teams, structures, and repeatable methods. Otherwise, solidarity remains a beautiful idea with weak legs. But once solidarity becomes organized, it becomes force. Now we're not just people who feel deeply. Now we are people who can intervene effectively. Now we're not just a room full of concern. We are a mechanism for relief. And the same thing is true inside the internal ecosystem. If a member needs a lawyer, a plumber, a therapist, a mentor, a designer, or a mechanic, then a real community should not leave them stranded in the high-cost chaos of a disconnected world if the resources already exist among us. Because that's one of the tragedies of modern life. People are often surrounded by value they cannot access. I started self-medicating with marijuana back in 2014, realizing that I dealt with heavy depression. Because of my charismatic upbringing with religion, I couldn't see my depression for what it was, because I thought it was spiritual attacks. I thought it was demonic attacks and stuff like that. But once I began self-medicating with weed, cannabis, marijuana, Mary Jane, do you find love with Mary Jane? Okay, anyway, one of the realest experiences I had with that moment, I don't know if y'all ever seen the show Boondocks, but there's an episode in Boondocks where granddad smokes weed for the first time, and he's sitting under a tree, and everything just gets brighter around him. That's like what it was like for me. It was realizing that I was surrounded by value that I couldn't access. I was so trapped within myself. And sometimes I still get there. I was so trapped in myself that I was surrounded by value that I couldn't access. And that was an emotional thing for me. That was a mental thing for me. But I want you to understand that that's where we really are in society, is that we have like millions, if not billions, of people who are surrounded by value that they cannot access. They're surrounded by resources that they cannot access. They are surrounded by support that they cannot access. And what good is value if it's not accessible? What good is support if it's not accessible? They're near help, but disconnected from it. They are one introduction away from relief, one conversation away from an opportunity, one act of coordination away from support, but no structure exists to circulate what the community already has. And so, therefore, in order to really find support, Many of them have to go back to religion. Yeah. Yeah. Because they have the homeless shelters. They have the feeding stations. They have the programs for at-risk youth. They have the orphanages and the foster care programs. They have the places you can come and get help in your utility bills. But yet here we are sitting on our high horses thinking just because we know better that automatically equates to doing better. You're not doing better until you're doing better. So what happens? Everybody keeps their skills in private. Everybody keeps their knowledge in silos. Everybody keeps their relationships disconnected, and the burdens remain heavier than it has to be, not because the resources don't exist, but because there is no engine that moves them. You know? That is why building a lifting culture means more than teaching people to be nice. It means creating circulation. It means if somebody has a need and somebody else has the ability to meet that need, the community should have a way to connect them. It means skills do not just sit there, they move. Resources don't just sit there, they move. Relationships do not just sit there, they move. Knowledge doesn't just sit there, it moves. That's what makes a community strong. Not just that good people are present, but that good things can flow. That's why I'm loving what's happening at Bridge City now. All of a sudden, people who have gifts are finding ways to connect them to the community. This is what I'm good at. This is what I want to bring to the table. And so what that does is that value that was inaccessible is now becoming more accessible. That's what you saw in the news today. You saw in the news today, Dark Light was talking about it. He said, I had an opportunity to go to the Bridge City Music Club workshop. And he says, I have a passion for singing and what I was able to learn from that. And this is just small. This is small, but this is how you lift. And this is how you lift louder. Because what I realized is that now I have a way that I can actually work on my voice and I can actually improve it. And that's because somebody else at the table had a gift and that they brought to the table. And that gift didn't just sit there, it moved. We make space for it. I know people think I'm crazy. I know people think I'm a madman. I don't care. This is what I'm passionate about. And every step of the way, we see the power in it. This is why this is bigger than kindness. This is about coordination. This is bigger than compassion. This is about access. This is bigger than care as sentiment. This is care as infrastructure. Because community cannot just be a good time. It can't be just a vibe. It cannot just be aesthetic. It can't just be good language, emotional resonance, and shared values. At some point, if it is real, it must become a system that helps people live better. That's the reality. If it's real, it must become a system that helps people live better. It must. If it's not helping people live better, what is it doing? That's how I judge everything. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I pull away from organizations if I come in and I see that you've existed for a while and nobody's better. No, and people don't like me for that because they feel judged by it. But I'm just not interested in wasting my time. I'm not interested in joining another bandwagon. I'm not interested in joining another tribal club. If it is real, if community is going to be real, it must become a system that helps people live better, not just be louder, not just be bitter, not just be mad. How is this helping you get better? Because watch this, if it's not helping you get better, it's not going to help me get better. And I got kids that I want to be better. And I want my kids to be in a world where people are better. So the only institutions, the only organizations that I am interested in partnering with are organizations that are committed to helping people be better. Dang, this is good, y'all. I'm sorry. I did not mean to go this deep today. I guess I did because it's all in my notes, though. But anyway, that's when community stops being a mood and starts becoming a machine. That's when solidarity stops being poetic and starts becoming practical. That is when care stops becoming something we say and starts being something we build. Which brings me to my third point for this weekend. It might be the fourth, I don't know. We were never waiting on a savior. We were waiting on each other. That's where we are now. We were never waiting on a savior. We are waiting on each other. And for a lot of people, that hits hard. That hits hard. We're never waiting on a savior. We're waiting on each other, y'all. That's the reality. That's the reality. We're waiting on each other. One of the hardest parts of atheism, humanism, or life after religion is coming to terms with the fact that no supernatural rescue is on the way. And for a lot of people, that truth hits really hard at first. It hits hard because when you come out of religion, you're not just losing beliefs, you're losing a psychological fallback. You're losing that background assumption that somehow, somewhere, when things get bad enough, heaven is going to step in. That justice will be guaranteed from above. That meaning will be secured from beyond. That rescue is built into the structure of the universe. And when that falls apart, it can feel brutal. It can feel cold. It can feel exposing. It can feel like being dropped into a world where the stakes are suddenly heavier because there is no invisible cushion beneath history. But over time, that same truth can become liberating. It has for me. Because when you stop expecting heaven to interrupt history, you begin to take history seriously. You begin to realize that history has always been moved by human hands, human courage, human coordination, human imagination, and human effort. You begin to see that what religion often trained people to call divine intervention was very often just human beings finally deciding to act. When you stop waiting on miracles, you begin building mechanisms. When you stop looking for a savior, you start recognizing the power of collective human action. When you stop outsourcing hope to the sky, you start organizing power on the ground. And that changes you because something happens when you actually help move real weight, when you actually help carry somebody through grief, when you actually relieve somebody's pressure, when you actually help solve something concrete, when you actually become part of the mechanism that makes life lighter for another human being, something in you develops. Your emotional muscles change. You become sturdier, less fragile, less helpless, less abstract. You stop relating to the world merely through opinion and start relating to it through capacity. You begin to trust action because you've seen people come through. You begin to trust solidarity, that it's not just a slogan, not just a hashtag, not just a moral mood, but you begin to trust that it is a force. It is a real force, okay? And so watch this. I got to pull this. We're going to have to go to a black, I got to call somebody from the past. Please don't be mad at me. I got to pull this quote from the past. Come here, Archimedes. Archimedes said, give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I will move the world. Let me say it again for somebody else. Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, because I know how some of y'all are, and a lever long enough, and I'll move the world. Yeah. It's actually one of my favorite quotes. It's one of my favorite quotes in the world because this is not just physics for us. That's the blueprint. Because what Archimedes understood is that strength alone is not enough. Intention alone is not enough. Passion alone is not enough. If you want to move something massive, you need position, method, and leverage. If you want to move something massive, you need position, method, and leverage. maybe the most important thing you need right now in your life is a place to stand. Is that good, y'all? Is that good? Maybe the most important thing you need in your life right now is a place to stand. You need a place to stand. You need a lever. You need an assignment big enough to justify the effort. So let's break it down. The place to stand is Bridge City. Bridge City is a place to stand. I mean, isn't that what a bridge is? A place to stand? Come on now. See, you cannot move the world while floating in isolation. You cannot generate real leverage if you have no footing. You cannot keep pretending that disconnected individuals, each carrying their own private exhaustion, are somehow going to produce collective transformation by accident. No, you need grounding. You need structure. You need a sturdy place to plant your feet. You need community. And that's what Bridge City is supposed to be. A place to stand. Oh, this feels too good. This feels too good. Damn it, this feels too good. Bridge City is a place to stand. A place where you are not suspended in loneliness. A place where you are not left drifting in private disbelief, private pain, private frustration, or private reconstruction. A place where your values can find form, a place where your compassion can find coordination, a place where your desire to make a difference can actually gain traction. Because no matter how powerful you are, if you have no footing, you have no leverage. I'm a big fan of like dark type comedy stuff. And so one of my favorite shows, which is in season 5 right now. I wonder who can guess what the show is by me saying which season it is. But one of my favorite shows, which is in season 5 right now, it's based off of a comic book. And it's kind of like a superhero mockumentary. I mean, my first time watching it, I was like, oh, this is good because this is what superheroes would be like in the real world. And like, I write stuff like that. So it like really went for me. But the name of the show is called The Boys. Yep, they got it. I knew somebody was going to get it. My neurospicy just went crazy. It's called The Boys, right? And there was an episode, I think in season 1 of The Boys, where Homelander and Maeve, which my wife pointed out that Homelander is just a grown-up Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and now I can't unsee it. I can't. As much as I can, I'm like, damn, they are the same dude. Okay, but anyway, but Homelander and Maeve are on a plane that is going down, and everybody's like, and Homelander's horrible, by the way, but everybody's screaming for Homelander to save the plane. You got to save the plane. And they're like, can't you just fly under the plane like Superman does and just lift it? And the truth of the matter is, and he was 100% honest. He's a jackass, but he was honest. He was like, that doesn't work. He's like, I can't lift. I can't lift if I don't have a place to stand. That's the physics. I can't lift if I don't have a place to stand. If there's nothing for me to stand on, I cannot lift this. So he has all of that power, all that ability, all that supposed strength, and yet no actual way to save the situation because there was no point of leverage. There is no point of leverage. Give me a place to stand first. Then give me a lever long enough and I can move the world. But having a place to stand is required to having the power to lift. Damn, I got to say that again. Having a place to stand is a requirement to having the power to lift. If there's no point of leverage, if there's no place to stand, if there's no mechanism to apply force effectively, then we don't get to make a difference. That's why Bridge City exists as a place to stand. That's the point. Raw power, raw emotion, raw ability, potential, or capacity without structure can still be useless in the face of real weight. That's not just a superhero lesson. That's a community lesson. Man, you are incredibly gifted. You have all of this talent. You have so much capacity in you. And if you don't see it, we're going to do everything we can to help you see it. But not only are we going to help you see it, our goal is to give you a place to stand so you can do something with it. You know, it's to give you a place to stand so you can do something with it. Otherwise, it's like trying to lift a boat in an ocean. You know, imagine you swimming in the ocean and you see a boat and you say, oh, I want to go lift that boat. You know, and I know the water feels heavy, but it's not a place to stand. You're not going to lift that boat. No, you need a place to stand. The lever is our collective humanity, our resources, our logic, our methodology, our reliability. The lever is everything we can put between human strength and human suffering to create real movement. It's our skills, it's our knowledge, it's our money, it's our time, it's our coordination, it's our systems, it's our willingness to show up and become dependable. This is why I'm so grateful for people like Ashley, Zernial, Bob. They show up. They don't have to. They all have busy lives. And I could get caught up in my ego and say they show up because I'm just so good at what I do. But I'm not that dumb. They show up because they found something that they love. They show up because we're building a way to make a real difference. That's how we change the world, y'all. That's how we move the world forward. That's how we move humanity forward. We have to be willing to show up and become dependable. Because the beauty of a lever is that it multiplies force. It allows people to move what would be too heavy to move alone. It allows effort to become efficient. It allows limited strength to create disproportionate impact. And the longer that lever gets, the more organized we are, the more connected we are, the more skilled we are, the more disciplined we are, the more weight we can move with less wasted force. You know, that means we stop exhausting ourselves through isolated effort. We stop treating every problem like each person has to solve it alone. We stop glorifying struggle without improving method. Instead, we build leverage. And then there's the world. The world is the scale of the assignment. We're not just trying to help one person feel better for a moment, though that matters. We're not just trying to create a nice room full of emotionally intelligent people, though that matters. We're trying to move the trajectory of human life away from superstition, neglect, and fragmentation, and toward flourishing, dignity, and well-being. That is a massive assignment. Archimedes was not talking about moving a pedal. He was talking about moving the world. And for us, that means refusing to shrink our imagination down to personal comfort alone. It means recognizing that humanism, atheism, and life beyond religion cannot just be private conclusions. They have to become public capacity. They have to become organized force in the real world. Because Bridge City is not supposed to be a support group for disappointed people. It's not supposed to be a waiting room for the religiously exhausted. It's not supposed to be a gathering of intelligent people who simply agree that religion got some things wrong. It's not supposed to be a digital shelter for deconstruction with nowhere to go next. It's supposed to be a force multiplier for human beings, a place where isolated strength becomes shared strength, a place where private care becomes public action, a place where scattered people become coordinated people, a place where human potential gains footing, leverage, and direction. So no, we were never waiting on a savior. We've been waiting on each other the whole time. Listen, y'all, I've been waiting on y'all. Maybe you've been waiting on me, but we've been waiting on each other. Me, the answer was never going to descend from the sky. It was going to emerge from within, from people getting organized, from people getting honest, from people getting brave, from people learning how to trust one another enough to build something stronger than outrage, stronger than disappointment, stronger than trauma, and stronger than isolation. We were waiting on each other to stop floating. We were waiting on each other to find our footing. We were waiting on each other to build the lever. We were waiting on each other to finally decide that if the world is going to move, then we're going to have to be the ones to move it. So now let me bring this home. The question this weekend is not whether the world is heavy. We already know it is. The question is not whether people are suffering. We already know they are. The question is not whether systems are broken. No duh. The question is, what are you lifting? What weight have you noticed? What burden have you ignored? What strength have you been sitting on? What voice have you been withholding? What skill have you been underestimating? What resource has been in your hand this whole time while you kept waiting for something bigger to happen? And a part of that, a major part of this, y'all, I'm not saying any of this to beat any of us up. I'm saying that sometimes you may not recognize your own strength because you've never been able to value yourself. That's why the work that Bridge City does is so important. Because some people will never know that they can be helpful because they've defined their life by their pain. And it's like, yeah, I know that pain is there, but I promise you there's some power in you. And it may take a little bit of community to show it to you. It may take a little community to bring it out of you. It may take a little bit of community to just even give you the freedom to be able to see yourself as someone valuable, as someone capable. But I want you to know that it's there, and Bridge City is committed to helping you find it. Maybe the bigger thing that needs to happen is you. Maybe the miracle was never going to fall from the sky. Maybe it was always supposed to rise from the ground. Maybe it was always supposed to look like ordinary people becoming organized enough, courageous enough, and connected enough to lift what others cannot lift alone. That's what Bridge City is becoming. A place to stand, a lever long enough, a people strong enough, a structure sturdy enough, a community loud enough in its compassion and discipline enough in its action that when the world gets heavy, we know how to move it. So this week, don't just be inspired. Don't just be emotional. Don't just agree with the message and go back to carrying life the same way. Lift something. Lift someone. Lift a burden, lift a voice, lift a cause, lift the standard, lift the room, lift the city. And by doing so, you help us lift the future. And if you're tired of carrying life by yourself, then maybe it's time to stop standing alone. Bridge City is not a place for spectators. It's a place for builders, for lifters, and people who still believe that humanity is worth the work. So come stand with us. Come build with us, come lift with us. If you're looking for community, if you're ready to join a community that's actually doing something, not just against what we hate, but for what we love, then the link is on the screen. And I realized I accidentally left the QR code on the screen too. So you have 2 ways to join today. And if you join, don't just join in silence. Join in and let us know that you're there. Introduce yourself. Get to know this community, because we don't just want you. We need you. We need you. You are valuable. And you know what? I want to sit in that just for a few more seconds. I'm done. But it just kind of hit me while I was saying that we don't say that enough to each other. We don't just want you in our lives. We don't just want you in our community. You are necessary. You are needed. And I know you live in a world where it's easy to feel like you're disposable, where it's easy to feel like you're dispensable. And I'm here to remind you that you are a necessary part of life. We need you. We need what you have to offer. We need your experience. We need your worldview. We need your pain so we can understand the depth and the complexity of pain. We need your victories so we can know the things that we are capable of. You are valuable. You are treasured. You are wanted, not because somebody died for you, but because you live, because you share this breath. I heard somebody say once, and it's one of the most beautiful things that I've heard. I don't know if I agree with it, but it's beautiful. And it was, there is only one life, and we're all sharing it together. You are necessary. So if you're ready to be a part of a community that values you for you, where there is no need for conformity, there's no need to pretend, there's no need to perform, the link is on the screen. The QR code is on the screen. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. And now we're going to go ahead into our next steps.
What another great session today. It really reminded us that we got to be louder about our shared humanity. So before you go, take a moment to sound off in the comments. What moved you today? After you leave a comment, keep the conversation going on campus, whether in the Commons or the new member lounge. These moments are powerful, but what we do with them turns insight into impact. Now, if today is the day you officially decide to join Bridge City, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Bridge. If our message resonates with you, you found something real here and something worth building, then your next step is simple. Follow the link on screen to take your first steps into the global campus. Once there, we made the pathway from spectator to builder easy. Just tap in and complete the onboarding course. The pathway is designed to help you understand who we are, what we're trying to build, and help you find your new place in your community. It's not about signing up to watch from a distance. It's about connecting to a community and where we're all trying to build something better. Once you complete your first steps, you'll not only know more about Bridge City, but how to plug in and start building to make your impact. And can I tell you about something really exciting for a second? If you didn't know, our very own Darante LaMar has been selected for this year's Entrepreneur of Impact competition. It's kind of a big deal. Throughout April and May, every single day, you can vote for free once every 24 hours. Each vote moves into the next round week by week. And this isn't just about Darante, it's about all of us. As he advances, it puts Bridge City on the map. It shines a spotlight to show off what we are doing here and how we can all make an impact together. So if you can, check out the link in the description and vote today and tomorrow and the day after that. Let's see how far we can take this thing, and we all really appreciate your support. Speaking of support, for those of you who believe in this vision and want to help push it forward, here's your opportunity to give. Your generosity is fueling the mission and scaling up the bridge. Every gift helps strengthen the community and supports all campus activities. That matters. Community doesn't only need content, it needs contact. It needs places, events, hosts, conversations. It needs opportunities for people to connect beyond the screen. Oh, and food. It needs food. When you give, you're making that all possible. You're helping to build a future where people can find not only the ideas that help set them free, but communities that help them live free. The link and the QR code are on the screen now. Thank you for helping us build something real, meaningful, and deeply human. And finally, don't keep this to yourself. There are people out there right now who are searching for a post-religious community. People who have outgrown the old frameworks but haven't found a place to land yet. People who are looking for honest belonging, authentic growth, and a better way to move forward. So share this video, show it to a friend, Invite someone you know to join the conversation. Show them the bridge we're building. The more we show up, the farther this bridge can reach. Let's keep building, let's keep rising, and let's reach more people together. With all that being said, thank you for joining us this weekend for our Louder series. As we continue exploring what it means to live life loving, lifting, and leading out loud so those who need us can find us. I hope today's conversation gave you something real you can carry forward into your week. Hopefully something practical or grounding, something worth living on purpose for. And to our first-time visitors, you should know, the first time you're a visitor, the second time you're a guest, but that third time, you're as good as family. We can't wait to see you next weekend as we continue our journey together. And to all our members, again, don't let the conversation end here. We have a lot of good stuff in the works. Be sure to check out the Event Center. There you can stay connected to all global virtual events and local happenings all across Bridge City. Events are some of the best ways to keep building and connecting better. As you head into your week, here's the ask. Be forward-thinking in how you approach the world. Be people-centric in how you treat the people in it. And be life-affirming in what you choose to build, protect, and become. That's all for today, Bridge City. Keep rising and be the bridge.
Now you got your life back. What you gonna do now? Now you got your life back. What you gonna do now? Now you got your life back.